4 ways to end a speech with a bang.
Videos that will make you master speaking and grow your personal brand.
Your final words at the end of your talk can have an extreme impact on your audience. Carefully chosen ways of closing out your presentation. Your final words can cause your audience to think and feel and act differently than they would have without your influence. It is your final words which are the message that your audience remembers the longest. What action do I want these people to take? The action that you want the person to take is to buy your product at the end of a speech. Now, it might be a purchase of a product, it might be your book, it might be simply to click on your website, or it might be to get a positive review if you're a keynote speaker. Your action that you want them to take is you want them to do what you are suggesting that they do. Direct them. Put them on your umbilical cord. 4 ways to end a speech with a bang. Number 1, a closing statement with a powerful call to action known as a CTA. That's a great way for a manager or a director, even the chairman of the board, to end a talk about the state of the business. Whatever you say, imagine an exclamation point at the end. As you approach the conclusion of your talk, pick up your energy and tempo. Speak with strength and emphasis. Number 2, drive the final point home. Another way to close your talks was with a quick summary. As you approach the end of your talk, you can say something. B, let me briefly restate these main points that we have just talked about and use your fingers. Like 1, 2, 3 if you're repeating. Usually you speak in 3s. Okay, use your fingers. This is fine. People follow this. They're used to it. Woo! Okay, or 1, 2, 3, easy. Okay? Also, then list your key points one by one. Repeat them to the audience, showing how each of them links to each other. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. A, B, C, 1, 2. They build on each other. You can repeat it. It's almost the same as tell them what you're going to tell them. Tell them what you told them at the end. If you first tell them, then you tell them what you told them at the end of your speech. So you're summarizing it. Audience enjoy a linear presentation or a repetition of what they have just heard, because you may think it's boring or it might be repetitive. They've already forgotten much of what you said. That's what happens. So go ahead and do this. And remember, you can also close out with a story. Number 3, people love stories. You can then tell a brief story of a result. You can play a testimonial, or you can tell a story, a real situation about someone who implemented what you shared, took action on what you gave to the audience freely so they can replicate the same and understand your message. And don't leave it to them to figure it out for themselves. If you can make it very similar to give the same result, for them to implement and follow it, the simple step, the roadmap, the blueprint. Use language like that. Here's the blueprint, the successful blueprint. And the story is, Judy did this. She got this result because she followed my step-by-step system, a system that clearly links back to the key message that you're making in your speech. Often you can close with a story, the key points, and this will help them relate to what they're doing. And remember, key point here. Oh, gotta share this. Make sure you use case studies that they can relate to. If your audience is a specific demographic, that means if they're between 40 and 50 or 40 and 60, there are only females in the audience, don't use the testimonial, the story of a child that is a male. Don't talk about your dog. talk about somebody they can relate to, somebody that is 40 to 60 female that has the same language, same ethnic background, so they can relate. Relatability helps close out. Number 4, another way to close your talk is with inspiration. Maybe if you have an uplifting talk, you remember the hope is, and always have the great piece of religion of mankind, meaning hope inspires. People love hope. Sometimes it doesn't work, but people embrace it. Religions are foundationally built on hope, belief of the afterlife, belief of doing something, helping mankind. If you can use and interlace words like that, most people will relate to it very well. People love to be motivated and inspired to do something different. Give them something to strive for. Here's my favorite. I like to end on a quote. One of my favorite quotes goes back to, I believe it's 1962, from John F. Kennedy. JFK was the President of the United States at that time, and he has a famous quote that people use, rehash over and over again. Some of you might already know it. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. You can use that as a template to change and use for yourself. Ask not what your business owner can do for you, but what you can contribute to your company so rising tides benefit together. Everybody elevates together. That's another way, one of the favorite ways I use to close. I use JFK. You can use that one. And I like the rising tides because that creates and promotes synergy and teamwork. A team is together, each achieves more. Same metaphor. Use something like that, easily done. You can implement it today so you get results for everybody. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. We will see you in our next video.